Yo, Molweni Betunana, greetings to whoever is out there. You are watching Disturbing the Peace, and this is AV. So, today I just wanted to talk about a topic that I have touched on as a contributor to unemployment. But I wanted to get in depth with it, get a little more skin on it. So, let's get into immigration. Yeah, it seems like every now and then it becomes a hot topic because currently I don't know if it's Gauteng only or other provinces. There are members of the community that are barring immigrants from using public health services like clinics and hospitals. So I'm a bit undecided on how I feel about that as an approach. Because one, in my opinion, it feels like a step towards a solution rather than a solution. Number two, how long can you keep it up? How long can you go to the clinic every morning and ensure that a certain group of people cannot access those resources, if you get what I'm saying? On the legality or illegality of the issue, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not. But the main point is people are airing their frustrations. They are saying we are dissatisfied with what is going on in this country. That's undeniable. You have to hear that message. So I don't really want to get into the impact of having such an influx of immigrants in this country, because I have touched on it, mainly the economic impact, the fact that every time they send money home, they devalue the rand, the sale of counterfeit goods. One thing I never spoke about, the illegal sale, the sale of illegal items like drugs. I personally can point you towards 2 bars that are near police stations that sell drugs. Not the bars themselves, they are full of immigrants that are selling drugs. So I'm not talking about something that is hearsay, I'm talking about something that I've observed. And someone might say, why did you not call the police? Why would I call the people that are helping them? Because clearly, if you have to sell drugs near a police station, you are confident that you will not get arrested. Now, on social media currently, there is a row about the barring of immigrants from public health services, with one side saying we are tired of illegal immigrants in this country, the other side threatening to poison people, saying, like, there's been a lot of videos of people saying, I work in a restaurant, I'm going to poison people, I work at this place, I'm going to do this. Now, I don't know whether or not those videos have been verified, which this person is actually working in such a place or whatnot. I'm not going to get into that. But here's the thing. My issue is that, here's a simple question I have. Are foreigners really the problem? Let me put it this way. If someone, maybe your friend, goes to your house as a visitor and starts jumping up and down on your parents' bed and doing as they please, is it their fault? Because that is ludicrous behavior. But you have to ask yourself, where they got the courage to behave in such a manner in your home. So maybe we need to get to the source of the problem, because in a nutshell, blaming foreigners is not really working, because they've made it adamantly clear that they are not willing to go anywhere voluntarily. And a lot of them nowadays, because they've seen ukuthi our government is corrupt, incompetent, and detached from society, they're not even shy about the things they do. They conduct their affairs openly. One other thing I have an issue with is that it seems to be a conversation between black people, black immigrants and black South Africans, as if this is not a South African problem, it's a black problem, which it's not. Because we have Pakistanis who still have undocumented shops selling counterfeit goods, selling expired products to children, endangering overall society. That hasn't changed. We still have a lot of Pakistanis selling fake t-shirts, fake jeans, fake labels. That has not changed. So it's not a black problem, it's a South African problem. Now, here's my thing. I recall a while ago, our beloved acting president offered a 21-day period for Pakistani tuck shop owners to register their businesses. So you're offering the people that your citizens are frustrated with and are complaining about the opportunity to legitimize the businesses that are selling expired goods, that are selling counterfeit goods. That's what the president did. So that tells you, if in the back of your mind you were hoping that one day politicians maybe might actually be of help on this issue, maybe put that thought out of your mind. Let's maybe talk about what the main problem is. Because on the surface, we have too many foreigners in this country. With that, a lot of them are undocumented. We don't know what business activities they are conducting. We don't know where they live. Here is my issue. The ones that are engaged in business activities or working or whatnot, I mentioned this, and I'm going to mention it again. They have families at home. And with having those families at home, these people are sending money back home, which is a devaluation of the rand. If you take money as a product, like maybe an apple, if someone keeps giving apples away for other fruits, the value of apples is lowered. Now, if maybe we were a country like China or India, that might be advantageous, but it's not, because we are not a mass producer, we are a mass consumer. Now, I don't want anyone to get me wrong, because as South Africans, we either have two lanes on this. Either we are on the side that says foreigners need to go, which in most cases people would say illegal immigrants need to go, or there are those people that live in La La Land who don't have to interact with these issues, who don't have to deal with these problems, that will usually shut the conversation down by saying it's xenophobia. Case in point, our media. Every time there is an outbreak of, for now I'm going to say xenophobic attacks or xenophobic riots, the headlines always say they are always one-sided. They are always one-sided. And last I checked, xenophobia is an illogical fear of immigrants. And I think I can speak for a lot of people when I say we are not scared of immigrants, we are tired of them. As South Africans, we are tired. We are not scared. And it's not illogical when you see what's going on, when you live around the areas that are affected. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. And someone out there might think, maybe I'm being close-minded. Don't get me wrong. I think that any healthy economy with healthy immigration policies should be open to guests. That is a reflection of a healthy economy and a healthy immigration structure. But this country does not have that. Now, when I say immigration policies that are sound, I mean like if you go to other countries, their first expectation before you even get on a flight going to that country, number one, have luggage. Number two, have a bank account in the country that you are going to. Have someone with a residential address that has a certain period of time they've been living there that you are going to. And then when you get there, there is someone who will come to your house from the Statistical Bureau to inquire as to how long you're staying, if you plan on engaging in any business activities, if you plan on engaging in any academic activities. They want to document your stay fully, which coincidentally contributes to a healthy statistical database that can account for all citizens that are in a country, foreign and local. If you are planning to send money outside of that country, they are monitoring your external expenditure. How much money you send, you have to justify it every time. And if in their view you are sending too much money, they will inform you, no, you can't send this amount of money. You can't send this amount of money. And to show that they have documentation, they will ask you, you sent money last week, why are you sending money this week? That, in my view, is a country with a healthy immigration policy. A country where if you plan on marrying a citizen from that country, their Foreign Affairs Bureau will not just accept the marriage at face value. There is a thorough investigation to ensure that this is not a green card marriage. Meanwhile, in this country, I don't want to point fingers at genders, but this seems to be a gender issue. Other people, a lot of people, have actually sold their birthright, their heritage, for an allowance of 1.5, 2.5 per month. And then they come and tell stories about, he gave me 1,500 one time and then he left. I haven't seen him for 10 years. But you are married to this person. you are married to this person, you sold your citizenship for a meager 1,500, which is an issue for me. Which is an issue. So let's get into the fact that we need solutions, long-term, self-sufficient, sustainable solutions to the problem. Because here is the sad part. There are actually immigrants who came to this country legally, number one. They followed all the proper procedures. They bring expertise to this country. They are integrated within society, within this country. They are contributors. They are members of communities. And in the end, I'm sorry to say, but we are at a point where there's no turning back. They now also have to pay the price for the ones that basically said, I'll take a risk, I'll jump the border, I'll get there and see what goes on. That's where we are. Because at this point, it's not a matter of an exodus of illegal immigrants. It's a matter of an exodus of immigrants. Now, one, violence will not solve the problem, no matter how many times we try and intimidate immigrants. It will not solve the problem because there's a lot of logistics that is behind telling someone you have to leave. That person may have assets. They have to dispose of those assets. There are flights. There's a lot of things that they have to go through before they leave. And considering the fact that our government is majorly concerned with human rights, in this aspect, I'm not a fan of using violence to solve the problem. Mind you, I don't think violence is ever a solution to any problem. More particularly this one. Because foreigners have made it clear, legal and illegal, they've made it clear, we are not going anywhere. They've said it outright. So that's not going to work. Our government, on the other hand, dear old stale cupcake, decided to give the Pakistanis 21 days to register their undocumented businesses. Yeah, so you see where this is going. And that tells you that the government is not going to be of any help in this issue. Now, in my view, I can only see one of two solutions. One, a change of regime. Changing the government to inform it that you are not dictators in this country. We can force you out because of your corruption, your incompetence, and your indifference to our problems. And that message will pass to the next government to say, if we can remove them, if we don't see results within the first term from you, you're out too. But considering Guti, we have maybe at most now three real opposing political parties. The EFF is out. Juju has already made it clear that he's a sympathizer to foreigners. He's made it clear again and again that he's a sympathizer. So, yeah, he probably wouldn't be of any help. Then there's the DA. I'll let you contemplate that one on your own, in your head. Personally, I'm not big on the DA, considering their racial history. And by racial history, if someone maybe thinks that I'm just splitting out, remember the news article where a black woman was forced to interview for a political post within the DA in the men's toilet by men. Yeah, you can Google that. You can check it. So what else is there? Action SA? Maybe. But what is more important than the governing party is policy changes, which none of these politicians are talking about. Beyond just immigration, policy changes in all aspects. We need legislative change. But that's not happening currently. So that's the slow, more long-term impactful position that we find ourselves in. Either we remove the current governing party, which is a long shot because South Africans are hard in their ways. The same people that complain about the ANC will turn around and vote for the ANC. So yeah, I'm not too optimistic on that one. Alternatively, now, mind you, I think I did mention Uba. Barring people from accessing health facilities is a half measure to the full measure. If you stop someone from accessing health facilities, it makes their life uncomfortable, but does it really push them to the point where they don't have a choice but to live? I don't think so. So the question is, what is the real solution? And this is why I say, as citizens, we have to look inward when we look to hand out responsibility. We have to hold ourselves accountable. Because here is a simple reality. We are the ones feeding these people. No matter how much of a supply chain they can create, they could be owning farms. They could be owning farms, they could be owning logistical trucks and whatnot. They are already in the retail industry with their spaza shops. But I'm not just mentioning Pakistanis, by the way. I'm talking about all foreigners, legal and illegal. Yeah, it is what it is. It's like that at this point. All of them could have a full supply chain. There'll always be one link missing, the customer, and that's us. We are the ones that keep supporting their businesses. Next time your car breaks down and you take it to a mechanic who is not a South African, you are enabling that person to remain in this country. Next time you want to buy a loaf of bread and you don't feel up to going to your nearest franchise store that you know, that has been there long before this issue came along, when you go to the Pakistani shop, you are enabling them to stay in this country. Because I've never seen a Pakistani buying at a Pakistani shop. I have never. Not in my entire life. And here is another thing. They did not come here to integrate and coexist with South Africans. If you don't think what I'm saying is true, do me a favor, go to the comment section and give me the name and surname of your local Pakistani shop owner. Name, surname, favorite song, whichever genre, favorite color, anything about that person, any personal thing about that person, I dare you. They are detached from us. They are detached from us. They are not part of our society. They only came here for one thing, to make their money, and that's it. So as long as we keep supplying the demand for them, as long as we are there as a demand, they'll always be there to supply. And that's the issue. We buy from them, we keep supporting businesses that employ them, which is enabling them here to stay in this country. It's not the government buying from the tuck shops. It's not the government buying or using the mechanical services of your Zimbabwean mechanic or Nigerian mechanic or whatever. It's not the government buying from immigrants who deal in drugs. It's us as citizens. It's us. The sooner we accept responsibility for this problem and start to do the hard work and build our own economies, our own informal economies, shall I say, and actually build also community, I don't want to say political parties, community conversation. I don't even want to use the word conversation. Organizations, yes, thank you, that word. As soon as we start building community organizations that can communicate with each other and mobilize, the sooner we can actually get the word out there to every South African citizen that it's no longer okay or acceptable to avail accommodation to foreigners, to support foreign business, to support businesses that employ foreigners. The sooner we can see the change. Because no one is going to stay in a country where they can't find employment, no one is willing to support any of their businesses. They are going to leave. And that's the reality. That's the long, hard solution. Hard problems don't have easy solutions. I'm sorry, if you are looking for an easy solution, I don't have easy solutions. It's easy to mobilize people and go on a violent rampage and loot shops. That's one of my biggest frustrations, by the way, is that when it's all said and done, a lot of the shops that get looted during protests like this are the ones that employ South Africans, franchises that employ South Africans that have been there, that are not owned by foreigners. So, again, if we are actually serious about pushing immigrants out of this country for real, that's the solution I can see. That's the solution I can see. So, hey guys, by the way, I don't know what it is, but please, guys, this podcast is called Disturbing the Peace, Conversations for Change, not Views for Change, guys. Come on. I'm not going to testify against you for commenting. Go to the comment section. Tell me your opinion. If you feel I'm wrong, please tell me. Let me know. Educate me on what I'm missing. If you want to add a point, please do so. And subscriptions are free, guys. Subscriptions are free. Subscriptions basically say, this is a loyal follower of this podcast. That's it. Money only gets involved when it's a paying patron. And right now, I'm just looking to spark up conversations. I'm not looking for any financial contributions. I would appreciate them, but right now I'm just trying to grow my following. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. Please, again, like, subscribe, comment, and share. Cheers, guys.